So let's first look into natural hormonal rhythms and how they affect us. The circadian rhythm, for example, is quite easy to understand. We're here basically looking at how light and dark are affecting the production of melatonin and cortisol. Melatonin is our sleep hormone, which helps us get good quality sleep at night, and cortisol is our stress hormone, which helps us stay alert and energized during the day. Cortisol is a steroid hormone produced in the cortex of the adrenal gland. It's important to know. It regulates blood sugar, blood pressure, and immune function. It's produced under most conditions, whether stressful or not. Whenever you react to stress, your body responds by producing the adrenal hormone cortisol. This competes for receptor sites with progesterone, making the progesterone less active and leading, after a long period of stress, to estrogen dominance. Cortisol also increases estrogen production. So, too much stress will result in a dysfunction of the adrenal glands and a deficiency of cortisol, which causes hormonal imbalance. Now that we had a look at cortisol and melatonin, let's take a deeper look into our natural female hormonal rhythms, with the sex hormones progesterone and estrogen. And later, we'll look into testosterone as well. Just look at the dramatic changes to female hormone that happen throughout our life. Isn't it incredible? Think about where you are right now. Fertile years is up to 35 years old. Perimenopause is between 35 until 48 or 50, when menopause starts, and then it's followed by postmenopause. How are your hormones supposed to be behaving like? I know that most of you who took the questionnaire are in your fertile years or in perimenopause, so you might start feeling some hormonal fluctuations already. And the more you know about how your hormones are behaving, the more you know what's normal and what's not. Let's take a look at progesterone, estrogen and testosterone, and how they're behaving in an average 28-day cycle. I'm using an average, but your cycle might be shorter or longer, which could also be due to hormonal imbalances. For example, a client of mine was menstruating only every 3 months because she had PCOS. And when we looked into getting her progesterone, cortisol, and testosterone back in check, she started menstruating every month. She even lost weight in the process without even dieting. Quite a formidable change. Did you know you can predict your day based on your hormone cycle? It's really quite easy. Here's why. The 3 key hormones that rise and fall each month of your cycle, estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone that we see here, affect your energy level, your mood, your libido, how chatty you are, how extroverted you feel, how much money you want to spend, the food you crave, and virtually every other part of your day. Because these hormones follow the same pattern every month, you can actually predict what these effects will be every day of your cycle. Here's a simple snapshot of what hormones are doing all months long from your teens until perimenopause. Progesterone performs a series of actions on our bodies. It makes us feel peaceful and sleep well. It affects the brain by keeping us sharp, balances our blood sugar, stimulates the cells that build bones, and protects our breast tissue from the proliferation activity of estrogen. Progesterone impacts your appetite, your cravings, your desire to nest, that is, to make your home more comfortable, and your desire for safety. It also makes you sleepy and can make you forgetful and less eloquent as you speak. Estrogen has an impact on many cells and systems in our body. It impacts our mood, optimism, brain skills, chattiness, energy, appetite, extroversion, stress, desire to find a mate, and pain threshold. And testosterone, well, it's a secret anti-aging weapon for women and men as well. Testosterone is well known for its effect on libido, but it does so much more. Testosterone benefits your bones, your brain, it treats depression, increases our energy, and is the missing key ingredient to weight loss. It has even been shown to prevent cancer. Though we only need a small amount for women, it has a really big role in making us feel better and function our best. The amount of testosterone that's produced stays at the same level all cycle long, with a slight increase during the middle of your cycle during ovulation. That said, what's important is that the amount of testosterone your body uses depends on your estrogen level. The more estrogen you have, the more effects of testosterone you will feel. So if you're in a high estrogen week, you will feel more effect of testosterone. If you're in a low estrogen week, you will feel fewer effects of testosterone. Testosterone impacts brain skills, impulsiveness, libido, energy, desire for adventure, competitiveness, and courage. Isn't it amazing to understand how hormones are affecting us? And what they can do for you when you know what they're doing already? Now let's take a look at the thyroid gland. It's also a very important organ to understand, a complicated one. I've tried to keep things simple, but there are a few things you really need to know if you're experiencing thyroid dysfunctions. Thyroid is a butterfly-shaped organ located in the base of your neck. It releases hormones that control metabolism, that is, the way your body uses energy. The thyroid hormones regulate vital body functions, including breathing, heart rate, central and peripheral nervous system, body weight, muscle strength, menstrual cycles, body temperature, cholesterol levels, and so much more. The thyroid gland uses iodine from the foods you eat to make two main hormones, T3 and T4. It's important that T3 and T4 levels are neither too high nor too low. So the hypothalamus and the pituitary, which are two glands in the brain, communicate to maintain T3 and T4 balance. The hypothalamus produces TRH that signals the pituitary to tell the thyroid gland to produce more or less of T3 and T4 by either increasing or decreasing the release of a hormone called thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. When T3 and T4 levels are low in the blood, the pituitary gland releases more TSH to tell the thyroid gland to produce more thyroid hormones. If they're too high, the pituitary gland releases less TSH to the thyroid gland to slow production of these hormones. T3 and T4 travel to your bloodstream to reach almost every cell in the body. They regulate the speed with which the cells and metabolism work. And when you're testing for thyroid issues, you really want to be testing all of these ones: TSH, free T3, free T4, TPO, total T4, and thyroglobulin. These are often missed by medical practitioners, and these are really the ones you want to test. That's it, all you need to know about thyroid. And now we can move on to another interesting yet shorter topic: the 4 phases of the female cycle. You saw earlier how hormones are fluctuating during the cycle, which helps us identify 4 phases. The menstrual cycle, which is associated with your bleeding. Then we move into the follicular phase, which follows from menstruations up until ovulation. Then the ovulatory phase, which lasts about 48 hours and starts the luteal phase. And the luteal phase ends when you bleed again. Each of these phases are associated with different levels of hormones, and how they affect you physically and emotionally can also be leveraged for greater health. Did you know there are optimum times for specific activities that fit each of these phases? Did you know specific sports fit each of these phases too? Did you know that specific foods fit each of these phases? When you understand what works for you, then you can get so much more from your hormones. I've seen it plenty of times with my clients. For example, one of my old clients told me a few months ago that she's really glad I taught her about this, the 4 phases, so that she has more love and kindness to herself when she's menstruating, and more confidence in the type of work she can do and when to do it. She now knows what are the specific activities that support her body best, and it helps her live more joyfully, healthily, and confidently her life. And she's planning to pass on the knowledge to her daughter too. And this is what I tell my clients. Ignoring how you feel isn't the answer. Tapping into your body's wisdom is. So what can you do today to tap into your body's wisdom?